What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at another viewer's car. This is Milan's Ford Focus RS Mark III. It is a blue and black edition, and Milan has modified it. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the modifications, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. So, Focus RS Mark III, it's been a while since we made a review with this car, but in short, 4-door, always a 4-door, 2.3 liter EcoBoost, 4-cylinder turbo. Of course, we went from the Mark II 5-cylinder to a 4-cylinder, which kind of, it lost a bit of character there, but it gained a lot of, well, let's say daily performance and all-weather usability, because you now have 4-wheel drive with a really smart diff system with an open diff at the front, a prop shaft that goes to the rear, and then a clutch pack that can basically operate both. It's basically torque vectoring. It can operate both rear wheels independently, meaning that they can send up to 70%, I believe, of power to one rear wheel in drift mode, which is very, very cool. So in drift mode, it sends all the power to the outer rear wheel, basically meaning that it forces the rear to overtake the front, and that induces a slide. And then if you just keep the throttle pinned, you should be able to do big slides, but you need a lot of space to do that. It's not really like public roads safe. You need like a track or a very wide road or a closed road, something like that. It does mean that you can do really cool donuts, but we're not going to do that with this car. So we've got the blue version, for performance blue, if I'm not mistaken. You also have like a Nardo gray and the black and the white, but this is the launch color, and I think you see this color the most. You've got this sort of a weird structure on the splitter here, on the air intakes, big grille as well, with a Ford RS badge there. I think it's still a very handsome car. Introduced in 2016, so it's been 8 years, but still good looking car, if you ask me. So we've got the RS wheels on this car. I think you also had like these spoke wheels, which were also kind of nice. This is a 235 section tire all around. Michelin Pilot Sport 5s are on this. This is a 19-inch wheel. Brembo brakes behind that, really good brakes actually, good pedal feel. And then we've got these really cool mud flaps with an RS logo there. And they are actually, like, we call them flap laps, so they kind of flap around, which is really, really cool. I love that. I love that sort of rally look. Black roof as well. Milan added some carbon foil, I think, over there. And it's got Eibach springs. An HTS downpipe as well, so it sounds a lot nicer than stock. It's a little bit louder, a little bit deeper, and the crackles are a little bit louder as well. Cool little reversing light there in the diffuser, and a proper exhaust. Look at that. That is what an exhaust is supposed to look like. Very nice. So let's take a look at the engine. So Ford performance, we've got the 2.3 liter EcoBoost, which you also find in the Mustang, but in this version it has a different turbo, better cooling, intercooler oil, everything is cooled better, so it's a bit more of a performance engine, I would say. 350 horsepower stock, 440 newton meters, but this car has had a tune. It's got the HTS downpipe, as I said. It's got a GFB diverter valve upgrade, K&N air filter, and mount tune spark plugs. And then it's got map switching as well, so custom maps, and the most powerful map currently is 420 horsepower and 620 newton meters of torque, which is quite nice, and it sounds pretty damn good. You have the blow-off sound, of course, which is very loud, but also because of the downpipe you get a little bit more exhaust sound. And the engine itself also sounds kind of nice, kind of boxery. I don't know, you guys will be able to hear that in a minute. We've got the bucket seats as well. Now, seating position is kind of awkwardly high. It's always been that way. It's a very high seat, but the seating position, it's fine. For a rally car, it's really good because you can see the road ahead of you a little bit better. So 6-speed manual, proper back seat there. It's a nice practical car this. It's a good daily. If we hit the ignition and then hit the cancel button here, you can see the rev counter going to 1. That means that it's in map 1. This is map 2. That's map 3. So this is 3. Oh, that's weird. So map 3 is 380 horsepower, 2 is 400, 1 is 420. So that is what we're going to leave it in. And then let's start it up. So you can hear the blow off. And it has like 2 stages, which is really cool. It changes, like first it blows off and then it kind of gets this weird little fluttering sound. Really love that. And you get some crackles from the exhaust as well, which is cool. So let's go for a little drive. It is a proper hot hatch, and it feels, even though it feels a little bit more complicated than the hot hatches we really love. Hot hatches used to be about lightweight and uncompromising performance. That's not really the case with this. It's high tech. It's more like the Nissan GTR of hot hatches, I think. So it definitely has its own sort of purpose and character, which is cool. So we've got a doggo and some babies here, so I'm not going to do the tunnel. But we are going to go left here, and then you can hear the blow off is so loud. And this is what I meant when I said it sounds a bit like a boxer engine. Maybe that's also the fake sound that kind of sounds like a boxer, but I kind of like it. At least it's not like boring. And if there's fake sound, which I think there is, I think it's been done pretty well. It's not super loud, it's not weird or anything, it doesn't stand out. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what I thought back then when it came out. Maybe I was complaining about the fake sound, but compared to modern cars, this is actually better, I would say. Well, some modern cars, most modern cars. So we also have launch control. How do you activate that? So you go into the menu and then you go to settings and then driver assistance and then launch control. So this means that you can now activate it by stopping, foot on the clutch, full throttle. It stops at like 5,000 RPM, and then you dump it. And you can flat foot shift. So that means that you can shift really quickly. Ford says 4.7 from 0 to 100. So we did 5.1, but that was without flat foot shifting. So we're going to measure everything again later. But it feels good. It feels fast. The four-wheel drive handles it. It's very nice, actually. I like it. And it's one of the most explosive launches with a manual you can get, you know. Handling wise, it's like 1,500 something kilos. So it does feel a little bit heavy. I mean, of course it does. You've got four-wheel drive. It's like 160 kilos heavier than a Focus ST, which is, you know, that's quite a lot. Which mode were we in? We're in normal mode. Oh my god, Maxi. So I'll go to track mode. So track mode means also that the suspension goes in stiff mode, and then you have a button on the stalk here, so you can go to normal mode for the suspension, but you're still in track mode, which is a great idea. So let's hit the Autobahn. Flat foot. So get the little RS logo there in the rev counter, and then you can keep your throttle pinned for another like half a second or something, and then you need to shift. But because you can flat foot shift, the shifts are actually pretty quick. So that actually saves a lot of time. That is pretty quick. I like it. It feels, for a 4-cylinder, it feels very beefy. And that is also, of course, because it's a 2.3. Oh, it's Friday again. Because it's a 2.3, it just feels beefy, and I like that. Power also very nice. I think oh, nice going, guys. Yeah, he's on the phone. Idiot. Okay, so full throttle. But again, I mean, this power, this is what feels good to me. Like, compared to stock, this is what I feel it should have. Because it means that it feels a little bit less heavy, of course, than stock. Which is nice. It feels a little bit more hothatchy because of that. It feels like you can throw it around a little bit more. Because it's a little bit easier to deal with the weight, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's a new Passat. But still, I don't know if you guys can see my shaking. It's still pretty firm, and then if we go to this mode, it's really, really bumpy. Yeah, that's a big difference. So really good adaptive dampers as well. Oh, that's nice. 5th gear pulls right away. Bumps very good as well. Oh. So even though it's not like as big of a riot as a Mark II was, I still feel like they sort of captured the essence of being a fast Ford, in that it's different than the other ones, you know. This feels so different compared to like a Golf R or something like that, you know, or an S3. This feels, that's an S4. That's an S4. It feels so different, and I like that. I think that has always been the case with fast Fords. They have sort of their own feel and their own way of looking at things, and of setting up the cars, and they've always done an incredible job. And I feel like with this also, it's really good. It's a weird license plate. Listen to that. So, turn around. That's good composure. There's also a little bit of roll in the body, which is nice, because it kind of means that the car sets and then can still absorb some of the bumps, which means that it kind of feels really planted. Hey, Ford buddy. So there we go. Little bit of space on this side. That is nice. That's 260 without too much trouble. Really great car. Milan, thank you so much for letting us have a go. You've made some great modifications, I think. It's a really nice car to drive. I like the power increase. I like the sound. Yeah, good job. And thank you for coming. To you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it as well. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the right or this playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Bye.